All right, everybody, welcome to ARTiZM episode 40. Today we have Trio. I don't want to yell it because my mic is already gaining like crazy, but yeah.
Hey, we're Trio. We're here.
Yeah, so introduce
Hello.
yourselves. We'll start with Pivots because he's already been on.
Oh God, that's me. I'm Pivots High,
Whoever
the lead
wants to go
animator of
next.
Trio.
I'll go next. I'm Tyler. Tyler Landis is me.
And lastly, we have...
I'm Evan, also known as Sketchhead, but you can call me Evan. I do cartoons too.
Okay, so whoever wants to give us a synopsis of what
I feel like we
Trio
all sound
is.
so tired.
Synopsis. Did we all wake up really late?
Yeah.
We're tired.
What were you asking? A synopsis of like
Of what
we're
Trio
doing?
is, what you stand for,
The
what's
plot
it
of Trio.
about. Yeah.
What we stand for? Yeah. Well, you can read our full manifesto up on the web. No, we're just three like animators who like working together, and we've been putting out some cartoons and stuff, and we want to keep doing some cool stuff.
We were already working together basically for like the last 2 years, so we decided, hey, why don't we just make this official? Why don't we make a little...
Slap a name on it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like an overarching plan? Do you guys eventually want to put out like a pilot that's together with the three of you?
I mean, specifically, I don't know. We're kind of working on Jordan series right now.
Yeah, it's still pretty tenuous. Because we've been like revisiting Jordan series recently.
And that being BPTV, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that? What is the progress looking like on episode 2?
We got a good amount of progress done the other day, right? You got the script finalized, I think.
Yep, and most of the animatic is getting there, I should say.
Nice.
Hooray.
Would you
Yeah,
guys
so
say
it's-
you have like so you have like this trio, would you guys say you all kind of carry different loads of the show? Like you all kind of
Oh,
play
yeah.
different parts?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So who does
Well,
what? What's
yep.
the division of labor?
I'm like the shorts we've been putting out have been like I write. I'm more of a writer, and then Jordan does the heavy lifting for animation, and Evan does like storyboards and backgrounds.
Pretty
and
much
stuff.
everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. And so was that why you kind of all fit together? Like you did introduce yourself as 3 animators, but it's more just like you all kind of fill in the blanks.
Yeah, we all kind of fill in roles
Yeah.
for whatever we need.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
That's
Different specialties.
Yeah. So the most recent cartoon you guys had was the alien one, right?
Actually, no. Just
Yep.
yesterday we put out the puppy one.
Oh, I didn't see that. Dang.
It's a minute long. It's solid. I like it.
The
It's
alien
cute.
one made it to the front page of Newgrounds. Is this one on the
Good.
front page?
Not yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess it will be.
Got high hopes.
It won an award. It won Daily First, right?
Yeah, we got
Yep.
daily first. It has like a 4.18 or something right now.
Yeah, it'll probably get on the front page.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
And Jordan's the
Oh,
golden
we got-
goose of Newgrounds.
We actually got on the front page of Funny or Die too with the alien one.
Yeah.
Do people still check Funny or Die? I haven't checked Funny or Die in ages.
I don't know. But it's run by people with power, so I care
Yeah.
just because of that. Because
Will Ferrell approved.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they end up producing content and commissioning content. So
That's true.
I was excited.
So do you guys have a plan to network or like stay on YouTube and Newgrounds, or what's the deal?
I think we're just gonna stay on the internet for now and
Yeah.
just do our own
Yeah,
little
we're-
thing. This isn't like a professional studio. It's just like 3 friends having fun,
Pretty much,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to keep making the plan isn't like to take things places, although that might happen. It's like the plan is to keep making stuff, and where it ends up, who cares really?
We're making stuff that we like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the goal here.
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
Trio.
just making content that we all like, and then, figuring out what we want to do with it.
We hope other people like it too. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
With
you
stuff
all-
that we approve.
Do you all find that like your humor is kind of you all have like similar brands of humor, or is there somebody? Because I know like the dynamic on Rick and Morty is like Justin will pitch something super fucked up, and then Dan will like real like what's the deal with you?
We all
guys?
have we have our own like varying senses of humor, but we can all agree like what can be funny, what can be funnier, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we have very different perspectives. But like, I don't know. It's hard to say because I mean, obviously we've been working on some stuff together, but it hasn't been like a super long. Like we haven't put out a ton yet. But like, I don't know. I already feel like I don't know. I have a very I took like a lot of screenwriting classes in college, and I did like the whole Upright Citizens Brigade improv scene and like a couple of sketch classes. So I have like a very structure-driven mind when it comes to writing. So I feel like that's kind of my perspective going into it. Like I feel like I don't know when we were writing the next PPTV, it was interesting for me to see how like free form Jordan's writing style is, and to like I don't know, we're still like learning a lot about each other's processes and like how we fit together and stuff. And
from your cartoons, Tyler, I see you have like a very like heady sense of humor. Like it's like very like thought processed. And like from the BPTV pilot, it's more like these kind of punchy little dumb like gags. Bad way, but like
yeah, dumb is great.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's done well, yeah.
Silly humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the fact that you all kind of have different brands of humor can like kind of potentially coalesce into something awesome. Because then you get like, you know, you don't get hit the same way each and every single time. It doesn't get boring.
Yeah, and it's nice that we all have different senses of humor, but find each other funny.
Yeah. I think it's pretty important going forward.
Yeah,
making a project.
Yeah, because we are
Jordan,
very different styles together.
Yeah, Jordan, I like your stuff, but I don't know if I could ever write anything like it. Sometimes.
That's what I'm
pretty fucked up.
Do you guys all like sit in a call together and kind of just riff and then like come up with ideas that way, or what?
Yeah, we've done that before.
Yeah, I'm the least active on Skype calls.
It's usually me and Jordan just dicking around.
I feel like that's sometimes like the best way to come up with ideas, though, because it's just like you're genuinely laughing. Like, I don't know, when I come up with that, like, hardly do I ever like, because it's hard to crack up by yourself, right? Maybe that's just me, but it's just like, so Tyler, when you get an idea, like, where do you go with it? Do you like run it by them? Do you kind of just go forward and write and then run it by them? Like, what's the start to finish process on a video?
I mean, it varies. Like, Little Buddies has been something where it's just been whenever I have a thought that's been bouncing in my head too much, and I just overanalyze it from every perspective, and then I'm like, you know what, this would be fun to just make the buddies talk about it, and just like. The taller one kind of annoys the shorter one with whatever weird thought has been like bouncing around in my head too much. But then like the newer ones, the ones that we've been working together on, the alien one I originally wrote for a sketch class at UCB. I actually got some really heavy notes on it from my teacher, and I disregarded all of them. Like he said, he was like, I don't know if you want to have them like make it a breakup scene and have the abduction in there. I think that's too much. And I was like, that's the whole point of it. I'm not, no. And then like other people in the class like raised their hand and were like, no, I think that's kind of the point of it. And I was like, at least like the other people in the class realize.
You can't have both. How dare you?
Yeah. Like it was he wanted to just be a scene about a breakup or just be a scene about an abduction. And I was like, neither of those are funny. So no.
Yeah. From my experience in school, like with, I don't know, feedback and criticism generally, it was like this really like straightforward things that like, I was just like, you just don't get the joke. Like, it just, you don't understand.
Yeah. If your teacher doesn't understand your sense of humor, then they're not going to be able to give you good notes. It's just not possible.
One of my teacher's main criticisms was that I was too vulgar with it. And I was like, that's like what is funny. Like, it's not vulgar for the sake of vulgar, but it's like, it's there. It's in the atmosphere. So
yeah, because a lot of people, they give notes based on like what they would have done.
yeah,
And then it's like, well, you aren't doing this. So like, I had one teacher at UCB when I was doing a character class that just his notes were just amazing every time, because he would really get in his name's Frank Garcia Hale, and he just like he really got into the like mindset of the person doing the piece, and was just like he would even like give me some notes, and I would like be like, I don't think that makes sense because I was thinking of it this way, and he'd be like, oh, if you're thinking of it that way, and then he'd give me a completely different note, and I'd be like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah, that's tight. So Evan, when you get it, like you get Tyler, you and Jordan give pieces of the writing as well, and then what? Are you a very like visual oriented guy, or how?
Yeah, I'm not exactly a funny guy on paper. I'm not really good at writing jokes, but I like to write visual jokes. I like to make funny faces. There was actually a bit in the Alien cartoon that I did for the pure sake of being a funny visual. The tower's like, it doesn't really fit the story, the narrative. Like, it'll make him seem like he's like the guy who's already crazy enough about his breakup. He's already too crazy. I had him do a little hand puppet. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny little visual. But yeah. I can see why that didn't fit the
Well,
story,
the thing was,
so.
I mean, the reason that I didn't want that in was just that it made it seem like he wasn't actually abducted. Like it didn't make sense if he was actually abducted why he would not actually be serious about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm very character driven in what I write.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like I think about that a lot too. It's like you get to a place. I've been like thinking about Family Guy lately and just how much it sucks. And it's just because like
dang, dude.
now, and that's because like they completely just lost track of the characters. It's like now it's like how fucked up can a character be? When back in the day,
I don't
like,
think they
Peter
ever really had
traits.
Did he?
He did.
Like,
He was like the
I
dumb
think
fat
I
guy.
don't know.
It would never really. I don't think their jokes really stem from their characters very much. Like I think that, and
I
they
think
also
it's more circumstances than it is the characters.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm talking like first 2 seasons. Like Peter had like a well-defined character.
And what was that well-defined character?
It was like the dumb average Rhode
he was the
Island guy
dummy.
who worked in a brewery. He was good at wordplay and he could be witty sometimes, but for the most part, he did stupid things and didn't think.
Yeah, and that's stayed true the entire time. It's
Yeah,
just him
I think
being
so.
like his one character trait is dumb. Like that's his whole shtick. So it's
yeah,
like,
but
oh,
now it's like overblown and stupid, and it's like it doesn't fit into what an actual person like.
I
could
think
be
they
doing.
became too afraid to develop him otherwise, and he kind of became like a mold. Like he has to be dumb, otherwise he's not Peter. I think that's what it turns into when you write a show for like so long.
But
Well, I
now
don't
it's
think
also
they- I think
less
they
of
rate-
dumb. He's like a sociopath now, and he's just
yeah,
like,
exactly. I think that's what it is. And it's like you're not supposed to have empathy for the characters. Like they write it specific. I mean, you compare like my like complete other side of the coin for Family Guy would be like Bob's Burgers, where I'm like I
Right.
really like Bob's Burgers, and I think they make you feel for the characters. Like I give a shit what happens to those characters. Whereas on Family Guy, they're very clearly just like there for a punchline.
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with that. I think there was a shift. I think there was a point where I gave a shit about Family Guy's characters. It was super early on. But
Yeah, I don't know if I ever really did. But I think the style of humor was so original to begin with. Not so original, but it was a new style
was
of humor.
different.
I think. Yeah, it was new and it was different, and I think that kept it afloat for me for a while, where I was just like, oh yeah, this is new. And then once they kind of like kept doing the same thing for years and decades, I was like, oh, so it's just dumb jokes about an idiot still.
Yeah,
Okay.
They kind of ran that concept into the ground when it
Yeah.
was like 3 seasons maximum, I think.
Yeah, and I think now it's just turned up to such an extreme that they're just like grasping at anything, and it's just like really fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to make noise. They got to kill off the main character and then bring him back 3 episodes later.
Yeah, it's I don't know,
Stuff like
it's
that.
fucking stupid. But like pivots with
Yep.
something like BPTV that was your vision originally. What is it like to kind of make it a group effort?
It was sort of a group effort to begin with. Like it's my story. I just need help making it good, basically.
Okay, so like with
It's all
Me-
when we're in those like when we were in the writing chats, it was like everybody trying to like help Jordan realize his vision, because it very much is like his story.
okay, So do you guys? So you guys are working on BPTV 2 right now. That's the main thing, right?
Yep.
So with that, do you kind of? I know Jordan has some stuff in mind for where BPTV goes. You said like 8 episodes, right?
13.
13
total.
Shit, you're insane. Like, so do you think the 3 of you are kind of going to take that all the way, like, or just fucking stick it out for the ride, see what happens?
We'll see.
We're not future tellers.
I agree.
It's up to Jordan in the end. It's his show.
Yeah.
What he wants to do with it, he's gospel. What he says.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
But I know, Tyler, you've made a couple pilots in your day, correct?
Yeah, like 4-minute ones.
Yeah. So with that, do you guys have any more pilots in mind that you possibly want to start during BPTV, or are you gonna like leave it be while BPTV is going on?
I definitely have a pilot that I've been excited about that I've been rewriting lately. I don't know what pace. It's so hard for me to tell what pace I'm gonna do anything at, because it's like what I end up focusing on is it shifts.
So
but right now, I actually have a full like revamp of Johnny Gunn, which is one I made a couple years ago when I was in college. But it's kind of like I don't want to say a reimagining, because it's still kind of the same show, but it has I updated the visual style, and I think it's my writing's improved a lot since the first one, I think. So I'm excited to like revisit those characters.
Yeah, and especially just if you redo the same thing, it's like the jumping quality is so apparent, especially if you like improve so much.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's not the same story or anything. Like I'm not starting over. I'm like
revamp.
It's like an episode 2, except for you don't need to have seen episode 1, because episode 1 was so long ago, and I'm like embarrassed of the quality a little bit at this point. So I'm just like starting it like that, almost like how Adventure Time went from the random cartoon short to the first episode of the actual show. Like it's going to be that type of a jump, I think. Where it's like it's still kind of in the same world with the same characters, but like you can tell it's different.
So how did the members of Trio get to know one another?
Oh, geez, we're gonna go that far back. Let's see. I want to say there's a group that we were all in called Flash Holes, and
well, it's called Flash Animators of YouTube when we joined.
Yeah, that's what it was called when I first joined, and more so, I think it stems from me really that we all got together. I did like the contest, and Jordan took a liking to like my content. He liked Michelle the Gazelle way back in the day, so we started talking, and then Tyler said he liked my stuff too, and I united the two of them as voice actors for a cartoon I did called Polar Pals. Was there any contact outside of that between you two? Because I think that's how I got you guys to know each other.
Well, I remember Jordan sending me something when I did I did one of the competitions, and Jordan had said that he liked it even though it was one shot, because I did one that was it was such a simple animation. It was that prank phone call one. Yeah.
So Tyler, do you like animation, or are you just like a writer that
fucking hate it?
Yeah.
Like why would anyone animate anything? I think it's just
I feel
like
the same way.
Yeah. No, I mean I love animation and I love animating. I'm just not as good at it as these guys. So it's like I think we're just like doing stuff that's our strength when we work together. But like I started really focusing on Little Buddies because it was so
simple.
It's so simple, but the setup made it easier for me to focus on what I wanted to animate, which was the eyes and the mouth, because I feel like that's where all of the like character is. Yeah, the emotion and stuff. So I wanted to focus on just like acting, so because that's what I find interesting with animation. And I'm not the greatest or the quickest at drawing. So the fact that they were simplistic, but I could still make them as full of characters as emotive of characters as possible was appealing to me. And plus it was just a way to get like thoughts out there in a very like me way.
Yeah.
With animation, you don't need to get like a film crew. You don't need to get actors necessarily. You can make it a one-man show. That's
because I was doing live action stuff too. I still do sometimes, but yeah.
The thing that pissed me off about live action stuff, or like live action stuff that was like more or less serious was that you needed to get so many people on board and fix schedules and like just everything took so long. And like animation takes long, but in a different way. Like you can kind of gauge it and you can kind of see the progress as I don't know. I just like hated like a whole
everybody can do it at
crew.
their own pace. It's very nice.
Yeah, and the great thing about animation is like unless you're recruiting voice actors, for the most part you really don't need to rely on anybody else's like skill quality.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a group called Trio where there's 3 of us.
Yeah, but
in
something like that, you guys gauged your skills before you even decided to make a group.
Yeah.
Who decided to be like, hey, let's make a studio?
I think that was Jordan.
That was Jordan.
Yeah.
Why?
Probably. Why? Because I like working with these two, and the content we create is pretty freaking good.
Hell
Do you
yeah.
guys want to make like a channel for it or like a website eventually or like?
We've been toying with the idea that we could start like a YouTube channel, and
We've been good.
Oh, okay? Like we were gonna have the idea that maybe like sometime in the coming months, like we put out like weekly content between the 3 of us, like every 3 weeks. One of us makes like a 30-second cartoon.
This is not a promise. This is an idea that is floating around.
It's a concept word.
We've been kicking around a lot of ideas of like how we want, because we're still really finding out like what this trio is, and like
we just started a month ago, so
so
I got the inside scoop.
Yeah, but we're thinking about where to take it, and there might be a website, there might be a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel also might just be like behind the scenes stuff of what we're working on. Like if we produce it for our own channels, but whenever we're working together, we all like throw up behind the scenes stuff on the channel. We've been tossing that idea around.
Yeah, if you guys did do like a weekly video, 3 of you, like it would be time consuming, but like 3 weeks, that's a 30-second cartoon, that could be something,
Yeah.
It's
possible.
It's not impossible. But what I find is whenever I'm on a schedule or like put myself on a schedule to upload, things can come out uninspired, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I think that's a danger.
Yeah. So with your guys' work, do you guys ever like? I mean, obviously you feel uninspired as artists, but with the stuff you work on together, is that ever really an issue?
No.
Not yet, at least. I don't think so.
Yeah, we've done well together. We've done 2 Polar Pals. We've done. The first BPTV we were all somewhat involved in, right? Did you, Evan? Did you do something for the first BPTV?
I composed a little bit of music.
Okay, yeah. So like, and then the 2 shorts that we just did the last 2 months.
Yeah, we all played a part.
So, I mean. We haven't because there hasn't really been a schedule. We've just been like making stuff. I don't think there's ever been a lull in our combined stuff.
Yeah,
or uninspiredness.
Yeah,
and like we haven't cranked something out to crank something out.
Yeah, I get that. So with other ideas, I mean, I don't know. Evan, not Evan, sorry. Pivots, I know, is like a
excuse you
commissioner. He takes commissions for animations. What do you guys? Do you guys all do things related to animation or writing or storyboarding? No.
Not me. No, I'm a full-time software developer, and I just put all the time I can into animation.
Okay, got it. So wait, so you went to school you were in school for like film, but also, or what's the deal with that?
I went to school for computer science, and I took all the film classes and screenwriting classes I could as electives.
Got it.
I hung out with all of the film people and stuff, but I would just like, I don't know. I really liked web development and animation growing up. So I don't know. I went with the one that felt more practical for the degree, but then just all of my free time has been focused on the creative side of things because that's what I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was the one that actually went to film school. I just graduated a week ago.
Yay!
Hooray! Yay. I specialized in the animation school. I found out that I wanted to do, storyboarding. It was a pretty fun process. I'm still working there because I'm doing my senior thesis film and it's not quite done yet. So I'll be doing that over the summer.
Okay,
And
sweet.
Jordan and I are both going. He's already doing it. He's already a professional at this, but we do commission work for various YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah.
More so him though.
So do you feel like you're more of like to do visual gags? Are you also like visually inclined with like as far as like the cinematography goes? Or
Yeah, I like shots that have like a lot going on. I like to experiment with like more complex shots on my own personal projects, but I also know like the standard like comic book sort of form that like you need for the short-term content, like that I helped with Jordan. Like the storyboards I did for Alien Affair, they're very much like a comic book sort of format, I'd say.
Yeah. So
they're kind of like on a flat plane, but you can tell it. You can make up the action.
Who do you kind of look to? Do you have inspirations for cinematography that you look to, or no?
Cinematography specifically, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a cinematographer, but I look at like the actions and like the expressionism of like Chuck Jones and the like of that.
Okay,
like if you watch the Looney Tunes, you see how like expressive they are.
So it's all animation that you look to for inspiration.
Pretty much. I can't really think of anything specifically through film.
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a film watcher, but I do it from time to time. And I went to a film school and they made me take so many goddamn film classes. Like I took a screenwriting class that I can't really remember much about, but
I took a couple film studies classes that were horrible. I hate it. It was like the worst thing ever. I hate academic writing, like with a passion. It, like burns me.
This last semester I took at least 3 classes that required an essay each every week, and it was a nightmare. And I'm so glad to be done with writing essays. I'm not kidding. It was an essay every week.
Jeez.
So pivots for you. You love to animate, but you get the storyboards from Evan, and it's like got the visual look of it down. So where do you kind of, besides the writing, of course, take kind of creative liberties as far as the animations go? Is it like the motions?
I'd
say Jordan more or less fixes what I do. I kind of give him a really rough copy, and he specializes. He likes to joke about fixing my hand drawings because he's a lot better at drawing hands than I am.
Sure
hands
am.
Hands are like the common bane of existence, aren't they?
For Evan. I'm sorry, Evan.
It's all good.
So pivots, like, do you also kind of enjoy the coloring process, or is that just like an end thing that you do?
I don't enjoy any process, honestly. No, I'm kidding.
Pivots like I hate my life.
I color as I go. Most people wait until they finish complete animation, but like when I finish a shot, I color it.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to go back, because it takes no time at all to just,
tweak it.
Take your little paint bucket tool and just click around here and there.
I'd say the coloring process is like a collaborative effort, because like we'll show like we'll do like colors for things. Like, how does this look? And we try to make out what the best color palette would be for each character. Would you say that? We did that for the dog cartoon recently.
Yeah, the dog cartoon was tough.
When you guys focus on the writing,
that's just because I fucking did some color for it, and I'm so bad with color. Anytime I try to get involved.
When you guys focused on the writing for like BPTV, and Tyler said he's character oriented as far as his writing goes. Do you guys like focus a lot on developing the characters, like how they would act, or is it line by line help?
When we wrote this new episode, it focuses more, I guess, on character development. In this episode, you get to see each character a little bit more for who they are. In the pilot, they're just 2 dudes, but in this one, you kind of see a bit more of their personality.
Their personality and their dynamic too.
Yeah,
the way that the characters interact with each other and the way that they treat each other is, I think, a little bit more apparent in this, at least in the current draft of this one.
Yeah, I think so. When we were trying to write like a resolution for the characters, like we knew what the resolution was, we knew how we wanted to phrase it. But we were like, would Barry say this or would Pepper say this? And we were just trying to figure out like how to phrase it. And with that comes like the understanding of the characters. Like you have to understand like how they would act in certain circumstances.
I assume Barry and Pepper are both just like psychopaths because their mom died and they just brushed it off.
I would say
you wouldn't.
I would say Pepper more than Barry probably, right?
Yeah.
In terms of being kind of not a psychopath necessarily, but
I know I'm poking fun, but like the I forget line is like my favorite line.
Mom's dead.
I forget.
How?
Yeah, because we at least see Barry like a little bit bummed out in the first episode where he's like, "Mom's dead." Like he forgets why, but like at least he's a little bit bummed out, and Pepper straight up laughs about it.
Chalk that up to like stupidity rather than you know, not caring at all.
He doesn't overly care, but he's also just like, yeah, he's kind of not dumb, but like absent-minded and like doesn't think. He's not bad at well, I guess he's bad at thinking too a little bit, but
chooses not to. Just
yeah.
I'm very much a Barry personality, so I think about that.
I like Barry's personality. I like when he just goes to the table and is like, "You might want to look away."
Yeah.
Excuse me, Miss T, but you might want to turn around for this.
He's just got that gigantic leg of lamb.
Who
like
voices who?
Tyler is Barry. I am Pepper.
Evan, do you do voices or no?
I'm not much of a voice actor, but I'm gonna have a role in the new one.
Yeah.
The gold cameo.
Nice. So what has been your guys' like, I don't know, favorite aspect of the process of working together? Like, I know all of you have done individual things, so what have you found through collaboration that, you know, has possibly made your work better?
To me, like, I think it's just the specialization, because I feel like I don't know if you guys feel this way, but for me it's like the writing is the part that I find comes easiest to me and like I love doing the most, and then it seems like we're all doing the part that we love doing the most and comes most naturally to us, and so it just makes it so much easier to make a cartoon.
I gotcha. I would agree with that.
Pivots, do you give us a resounding agreement as well?
Of course, I agree. Though I do have a soft spot for writing as well. I love creating things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think creating the world is definitely a lot of fun. Evan, I'm not very visually inclined, so I respect it.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's definitely like a skill. Like I can see when it's good, but like creating it is hard.
Yeah, storyboarding is kind of a mixed bag because you have to be good at it for you to be fast with it. And I'm not exactly a fast animator per se, but I can do storyboards pretty well. And it's usually brushed off as like this easy process because like if you look at a storyboard like an animatic, it's like, oh, it's just rough sketches, but like it's tough to figure out where you want things to look in space, how they look good. Like you got to play with like silhouettes too. Like you have to silhouette a character, you have to make sure you know what their action is. There's a lot of steps to it.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like when amateurs think about it, like the storyboard is just like you have the writing, you just see it in your head and you write it down. But it's like
seeing it in your head is the difficult part.
Yeah,
it is not easy to translate that.
Yeah. I think that's the part. It's like it's not easy to translate it.
It's so easy to just sit in your head all day. It's like, this is exactly what it's going to look like. It's perfect. You can just sit and like dream it all, but then you try to draw it on paper and it looks like awful.
Because I mean, Tyler and Pivots from a writing perspective know this. You might think an idea is bad, but once you put it on paper and then go even further and get voice actors and do it, and then you're just like, what happened? Where did this? Translating it is by far the hardest part, which is why I used to like be around a lot of kids in the film. I went to film school briefly, and there's a ton of kids who are like, "Oh, dude, I have these like sick ideas," and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, what do you have made? Because
that's one thing to know.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is in the comedy community, right? Because I was doing improv for a long time, and everybody's like talking about the project that they're gonna do, but like so few people are actually like putting it into practice and actually making stuff. It's all like, because I feel like in all sorts of like creative communities, there are the people who have. They're the people who have dreams and the people who have goals, and it's like there's such a difference
Yeah.
because there's the people who like everything is hypothetical for the future. Like, oh, won't this be great when I do this? And then there's the people who are like, oh, so what's the next step to getting this done?
Exactly. So you like improv. I've been watching like lately. It's like
Ali G is pretty sweet.
he's like the best. It's so funny. So
Yeah.
do you kind of, for your work, you say you like to write, but you also do improv. Do you like ever like go back and forth with yourself out loud or like do stuff like that or no? Or even
Although,
in
I
your
mean,
head, you know?
in my head, really. I mean, like, my writing process was really enhanced by my improv classes because I mean, if even the puppy sketch, I actually wrote which is the one that came out today or yesterday. Or whenever you listen to this, it was the May 6th. But I started it from an exercise I read in an improv book that was like, if you want to try to write from improv, just give yourself 5 minutes to write a sketch and just write it. And so like, I just like all the characters were just like A and B, like, so that I didn't have to come up with names. And I just started and did it. But then just because like when you do the improv classes, there's such a structure drilled into it, but it's like still a way where you can find new things in it as you go. So it was like, I started with like a half idea and then just wrote it out within 5 minutes and then just rewrote it a bunch of times. Cause like rewriting it is where you make it really funny and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I
also
think
find
improv is good.
Okay. Yeah. I also find that, I was doing a similar thing. This guy, Alan the Box, he's an animator. He made It Will End. It was like pretty popular on Newgrounds a while back. It's like 4 years old, 5 years old, 7 years
How
old.
it will end or how it should have ended?
How it will end.
How it will end.
So
Yeah, those are two different things.
yeah.
Okay.
It's this like 4-minute cartoon, and it was just like in the description he said, I tried a writing exercise where whenever I got bored of something, I just move on to something else. So it's like a bunch of little fragmented clips that eventually kind of tie themselves back together.
That's cool.
And like I just tried doing that, and it's like doing writing exercises just bring up a lot, and it's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, doing any exercise makes you better at the thing. You know, that's the point of
Except
exercises.
for actual exercise, because who wants to do that?
It makes you better at hey, you run, it makes you better at running.
That's true. I'm not running away from anybody right now, so I don't
Not
know.
right now. Just wait till you get chased.
Yeah. I'll just be like, damn it, should have been exercising. So yeah. I don't really know what else to ask, so I think we're gonna cut it here.
All right.
You think so?
Thanks.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Thanks for coming on, fellas.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us. Yeah.
So what can we expect from Trio next? Is it the BPTV2?
I
Hot
think
dog.
so.
Hot
Oh,
dogs.
hot
yeah.
dog.
Jordan and I storyboarded a cartoon. He animated it,
Oh, nice.
and it's
And he wrote it.
yeah.
What's the puppy cartoon called?
It's called Romping Around the Block.
Okay, go watch Romping Around the Block. Go
Yes.
sub their respective channels and follow them.
Yeah, we have the trio has its own Facebook page where we're
Yep.
posting like all the stuff that the three of us work on.
We're all
Okay.
over the social medias.
You guys
Check
should
us
Yeah,
out.
Get
Facebook
it.
page, Twitter
Get a Twitter.
page,
Yeah,
Instagram.
because I don't check Facebook ever for YouTube stuff.
Foursquare.
Foursquare.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks
check
for
in.
tuning
We have a
in.
Teespring.
Everybody from
Those things
Trio,
for Teespring.
say the last thing you need to say.
Form
all at
Spring.
once.
All at
Last-
once.